Hello friends, welcome to Dr. Vet channel. I am Dr. P.R. Patel, Professor and Head Veterinary Medicine. We have already seen very important disease hepatofasciolosis part 1. Here we will see part 2. In part 2 we will see pathogenesis in detail so that you can understand the clinical findings properly and clinical findings of this endoparasitic disease. First, we will see general pathogenesis. The pathogenesis and the development of disease in animal body depends on the number of metacercaria ingested by the animal, because these metacercaria become the young fluke or immature fluke. If the metacercaria numbers are larger in a short period, then it produces acute fasciolasis. If number of metacercaria are smaller in number and of a long duration, then animal may manifest the chronic symptoms. The metacercaria penetrate through intestinal wall, then reach to the peritoneal cavity, and their main site of organ is liver, so they migrate to the liver. And in the liver, they migrate through the liver parenchyma because that is their food and where they grow. So the main lesions are in parenchyma and bile duct. The important pathogenesis produced by these flukes are acute hepatic insufficiency and hemorrhage. Insufficiency means the efficiency of liver decreased to a great extent. The young or immature fluke, first they feed in the liver, they grow, they become adult, and this adult fluke establish in bile duct. And this adult in bile duct, they produce chronic hepatic fasciolasis. In the bile duct, there is inflammation of the bile duct, cholangitis, obstruction of the bile duct, biliary obstruction, and bile duct also become fibrous because of constant irritation and reaction to this antigen of adult fluke. There is leakage of plasma protein, results into hypoalbuminemia, and this causes bottle jaw condition and generalized edema of the dependent part of the body. The liver fluke disease has two forms: acute fasciolasis and chronic fasciolasis. This acute form is very rare, while the chronic form is very common. Now we see the pathogenesis of acute fasciolasis. Acute fasciolasis is caused by migration of, remember here, large number of metacercaria, large number of the immature flukes or young flukes in a short time. This acute form is observed in sheep and small animals. It is not much common in cattle and large animals. These young flukes, immature flukes, migrate through the parenchyma of the liver, and they form a numerous tracts of migration and cause intensive damage to liver parenchyma. and because of their migration and eating, there is hemorrhage in liver and peritoneum. Continue the pathogenesis of acute fasciolasis due to migration and eating, that is trauma to the liver, called traumatic hepatitis. And after inflammation, there is laid down of the fibrous tissue, results into hepatic fibrosis. This is a dangerous condition. These acute cases are found during late summer and after monsoon, because during late summer and after monsoon there is fast growth and multiplication of snails and breeding of snails. So when snails breed fast at the same time, the Specialiasis parasite also multiply and breed very fast. The young animals of 6 to 8 weeks of chicks are commonly affected. Due to this, there is development of anaerobic condition due to migration of flukes. Migration of flukes cause anaerobic condition. Under this anaerobic condition, the Clostridium novii organism that is present in liver, they multiply and produce disease called infectious necrotic hepatitis in sheep and cattle. So trematode also causes Clostridium novii also. The pathogenesis already we have told. So both diseases can be found together. Infectious necrotic hepatitis along with acute fasciolasis in sheep and cattle. Now we see pathogenesis of chronic fasciolasis. The chronic fasciolasis is a more common form in all animals and all ages. The chronic form is due to ingestion of few metacercaria over a longer period. In chronic fasciolasis, morbidity is 30% and mortality is very less, 10%. The important pathogenesis is progressive biliary cirrhosis. Slowly, this bile duct become fibrous, biliary cirrhosis, and that is caused by the adult fluke established into the bile duct. The wall of the bile duct become very thick because of fibrosis. It is called as hyperplastic cholangitis because the mature flukes and eggs are in bile duct, and both this antigen of these eggs and antigen of the liver fluke produce a hypersensitive type of the reaction. The liver become very hard because of the liver fibrosis. Continue the pathogenesis of chronic fasciolasis. Due to fibrosis, the normal parenchyma of the liver is replaced by fibrous tissue. So there is great reduction of the liver function. There is deposition of calcium in the bile duct in cattle. Remember, calcification of this bile duct. And due to this, bile duct become hard, fibrotic, and calcification. So there is protrusion of bile duct out of surface of the liver. Clinician can see on post-mortem. And this hard, fibrotic, calcified bile duct looks like a clay pipe, so it is known as pipe stem liver. Important pathology here. Pipe stem liver. The stem means bile duct. Bile duct just become a pipeline in the liver. Some of the fluke migrate to the lung, and in the lung they form a cyst, small cyst, just like areca nut. There is calcification of the cyst. There is fibrosis of the cyst, and this type of cyst is confused with tuberculosis in radiography or X-ray film. Now we see the clinical signs. If you notice or listen pathogenesis, to understand the clinical signs is very easy. Now in SIP, generally there is acute fascioliasis. The symptoms of acute fascioliasis are there is sudden death without showing clinical signs. Immature flukes are very large in number and they all of a sudden they attack on liver. They finish the liver. So there is sudden death without clinical signs and that is the per acute case. There is a blood stained frothy exudate from the nostrils and anus. This thing also observed in anthrax. So it is confused with anthrax case. But it is not anthrax. It is a acute fascioliasis. There is weakness, dullness, anorexia. Because of the anemia, there is paleness of mucous membrane. Because of hypoproteinemia, there is edema of the mucosa and conjunctiva. Because of the liver insufficiency, liver is not functioning properly, there is jaundice and it is manifested by yellow mucosa and conjunctiva. If the clinician apply pressure on liver area by palpation, there is a pain because of the hepatitis. So there is pain on pressure palpation over the liver area is also a important finding to diagnose the disease. And the sheep die within 2 to 3 weeks or even earlier also, depends upon the severity of case. Some of the sheep show subacute or chronic symptoms. The symptoms appear only after immature sheep become mature. In subacute, the severity is comparatively more than chronic but less than acute, and duration is less than chronic and more than acute. In chronic cases, the severity is very less and there is a long course. There is intermittent soft feces and occasionally there is chronic diarrhea. The findings are anemia and paleness of mucous membrane because of the anemia and blood sucking flukes. Continue clinical signs in SIP, subacute and chronic. Due to affection of the liver, the skin coat also become very dry, hairs also become very dry, rough, brittle, they break very easily, and some of the hairs fall down in bunches, and there are flecks or a part of animal that is without hair. Bottle jaw is a common condition observed accumulation of edematous fluid in the intermandibular region because of the hypoproteinemia. There is progressive weight loss and emaciation. Course of this disease is for 2 to 3 months and death may occur or animal may survive depending upon the number of infestations of fasciolasis. The survivorship shows very poor condition for a long period. Clinical signs in cattle. It is similar to that of sheep. Chronic form is more common in cattle. Acute form is more common in sheep. The common symptoms observed are digestive disturbances, loss of body weight, emaciation, frequent constipation and frequent diarrhea, chronic diarrhea, the reinfection of adult pregnant cow, there is migration of fluke to the fetus and fetus may get the prenatal infection and when the calf born it is infected with fascioliasis. Friends, share this information to other veterinarians and veterinary students. Requested to subscribe this channel for the growth of this channel. Thank you very much for observing the video. Thanks.